Welcome to the Drew's News Podcast. And today on the channel, I have Ryan Lundy. Ryan Lundy has learned how to overcome a nonverbal learning disability all his life. He also defines himself by the work that he does as an advocate, and he volunteers with various different service organizations such as Best Buddies and Special Olympics. He's also a special education teaching assistant at a local school in his community. So, Ryan, welcome to the podcast. How are you doing today?
Great. Thanks for having me on, Drew.
Absolutely. So, just to get started, let tell our listeners a little bit about you. Who is Ryan?
Oh, well, my name is Ryan Lundy. I'm 35 years old. I live in Lafayette Hill, Pennsylvania. It's about a half hour to Philadelphia. I have a nonverbal learning disability. I was diagnosed at the age of 5. Some people, my parents didn't know that I had the disability until I got tested at 5. And then they determined I did have the disability. Something was a little off at first with me, and then I got tested, and that's how I am here today. I have the disability, and now I'm sharing the message of having the disability with people like you and everybody else that's listening.
Yeah, awesome. That is so awesome. And I'll self disclose for you too, man. I have cerebral palsy myself, so I know all too well some of the things that you went through. Because I wasn't diagnosed until about the age of 2 or so. I wasn't meeting those same milestones and goals that kids were making. I wasn't pulling up the stand or anything like that. And my parents, similarly to yours, knew that something was wrong. And that's how it came about. So, what kind of accommodations did you receive in school, if any?
I received a lot of accommodations. I had a 504 plan, which, for those of you who don't know what a 504 plan is, it's a plan that it's not IEP. So there's a difference between 504 and IEP. I was in regular education classes, but I would be able to leave the class and go to a resource teacher to take a test, and she would help me. And also, I would have extra time on that test. And along with extra time, I had like the study guides ahead of time with the teachers, and they would provide me with different resources. And I would have to give a shout out to the resource teacher. Her name was Dreamily Bratz. She's now retired, but she was very helpful to me. And the kids would always wonder where I was going. So I would have to give an excuse, be like, I was going I had to go to the bathroom, I had to give excuses that I didn't reveal my nonverbal learning disability to anybody. Um, I was the only one actually in high school that had the nonverbal learning disability. So it was rare. Other people had different kind of disabilities that went to this resource teacher. Awesome. So now I'm glad I'm sharing my story. It's 2021, making a change. Going to be a great year, and that's why I'm here today.
Absolutely. I always say that it always starts with awareness. If we can share our story and change one life, at the end of the day, we've made a difference. So Ryan, in your bio, when I was reading over it, you mentioned that you faced some kind of a little bit of bullying there in high school. How would you say that that has shaped you as a person that you are today?
Well, that shaped me in a lot of ways. Bullying, it wasn't easy in high school. I tried to fit in a lot of cliques, and the cliques didn't work. I would go to sporting events by myself because I'm a big sports fan. I would go to dances and all by myself. And I always wonder why people wouldn't include me. So I would see the people and I would be like, and I would be friendly with them. I would always be friendly to everybody in different groups. And well, how it shaped me today has made me a better person. It's made me stronger to realize who I am and the people I interact with. Um, I got taken advantage of along with the bullying. And I remember going to a restaurant I worked at, and my dad was involved in running the company. and they didn't have enough money to pay. So I had to front the bill and I had to take them there and they didn't pay me gas money. And it was a really embarrassing story, but I'm telling it now because I'm getting it out there. And so it's made me stronger today by overcoming the bullying and the challenges that I had.
Absolutely. And what piece of advice would you give to any of our listeners that might be in your shoes like you were in high school and maybe they're facing some sort of bullying right now due to their disability?
I would say get tested earlier. The earlier the better. You don't know if you have it. If you have some signs, get that test. The test wasn't easy. It was a lot of questions, and I got frustrated and overwhelmed with it. But get that test, and the test will reveal what you have. Don't be ashamed of your disability. You can do anything you want with your disability. We all have our strengths and weaknesses, but having a disability has made me stronger. And just don't be ashamed. I know it's hard. It's not easy waking up with a disability every day. I still have struggles, but just get yourself out there. Make yourself. Uh, it wasn't easy for me to put myself out there. It's taken me this long, but the earlier the better, and you can do it. Everybody can do it. I believe in everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. I always say that can't is not a word in my vocabulary. So bouncing off of your strengths, um, if you could pick one strength that you have, you would say that you've um, gained because of your disability. What would that be?
It would be patience because the work I do right now is patient, and I wasn't always a patient person. Um, So the kids that I work with today and the adults, I have to learn patience to deal with their behaviors and patience in not getting frustrated because I was get frustrated when I was taking tests and not understanding the comprehension and in social situations. So patience is key.
Awesome. So enough of the sappy stuff. Enough of the bullying. Um, I understand that college. Once you got to college, it was a very different experience for you. It was like night and day. Can you describe that for our listeners? What was the college life like?
Or college was awesome. I loved it. I got involved in Hillel. It's a Jewish organization. I was actually vice president, even though there wasn't that many Jews in there. It was still a tight knit group. I went to York College, Pennsylvania, and I got involved in Best Buddies, which I'm still involved in today. That provides one-on-one friendships and jobs for individuals with disabilities, and they also have now a living component to that. Um, and also, I was the basketball manager, so I got to travel with the team. It was Division 3, but still was fun. So I would hang out with the basketball guys at the parties, and it was a great experience. I had a lot of diverse roommates, and it was awesome. It was the best time of my life.
Amazing. I'm in my senior year here at the University of Florida right now, and I would have to agree. I made some of the best memories. I've had some of the best relationships here at the University of Florida, and I'll be carrying those with me, as I'm sure you still are to this day. As long as I live, I'll never forget this time here at the University of Florida. So right now, currently, you're a teaching assistant in a special education classroom in your community. What is your favorite part about being in special education?
I love seeing the different people, the staff and the kids, and we make an impact on these individuals' lives because I can relate to that because I know I had to go through a lot of teachers, therapists, tutors, and I give a shout out to them and my parents and my sister for dealing with me because I wasn't always an easy kid. And I'm still not easy at times. I'm very like persistent. I want what I want when I want it. But through the job, it's made me become a very flexible and patient person. So I love going forward to work every day. I know there's some challenging behaviors in especially my school, but it's made me stronger and we have a good team.
Alrighty. And one of the things that you said you're trying to work on is trying not to shut down when you apply for a job per se. Now you've been able to successfully gain employment, of course, as that teaching assistant. But you said you faced a little bit of a tough time. You said when you faced rejection that it would kind of get to you a little bit when you would be denied a job or whatever. So if there are any potential employers listening right now, what is what is one piece of encouragement you would give to them in hiring people with disabilities? Why should they hire us?
Well, people underestimate with people with disabilities just because they have a disability and they don't want to deal with them because they don't want to investigate about their disability. They don't want to take the time to train them. They think, oh, I just want to hire somebody because they already have the skill. That's not true. People with disabilities have a lot of great skills, just people don't know their skills. And I'm going to say that hiring somebody with a disability will make people stronger and the company and them learn about people with the disability and the disability. So it'll make the company stronger. It'll make the individual stronger. It'll make the employees around them stronger to gain knowledge. So that will spread more awareness and it'll make the company look better.
Amen. Preaching to the choir, brother. Whenever you're ready, let's go in some board meetings and do some presentations because you're spot on with that right there. Who
Sure, I'm
would you?
down with that.
Yep, yep. We're better together is what I always say. Power in numbers. Who would you say is your biggest inspiration and why?
Oh, by far my parents. It's crucial that you need to have, when you have a disability, a support group. And my parents have got me tutors, therapists, you name it. They still help me out today. Actually, my dad makes my dinner every night. I don't live with him, but I pick up. He's a good cook. I give props to him. And with COVID, I haven't gone out much. He picks up groceries and all for me because he wants to be, me to be safe and him to be safe. So my parents have done everything to me, whatever I want. They basically give to me and they still help me out today. I mean, I do live on my own, I do pay my own rent. They still help me out with my credit card bill and my cell phone bill. But otherwise, I'm on my own. It's my parents, and I got to give some credit to my sister, of course. Um, we fought a lot as kids and we still fight sometimes, but we grew stronger as we get older. And she was always by my side. I mean, I was always jealous of her because she was always popular and had the better job, more independent, but she was always there in the tough times. So I would say my parents, therapist, shout out to Dreamily Blast, the resource teacher, also Kathy Walker, who was my longtime tutor. She works at a school with individuals with disabilities. Also, I've had a lot of therapists over the years, tons and tons of therapists. So, all that support has made me who I am today. And that's why I'm here sharing this.
Absolutely incredible, man. And to wrap it up today, last question here. It is kind of like my signature question. I ask every guest that is going to come on the show. This question. You've done a lot in your lifetime so far, but what do you hope your legacy will be?
My legacy that I can give back to the NVLD community and also people with disabilities that so they would say he was a great guy. He impacted so many people's lives and he made a difference in the community, whether that be disability or not disability. And he gave it all he got every day and he lived life to the fullest.
Awesome, Ryan. Well, we appreciate you for coming on the show today. If people hear your story, listen, if they're listening to your story today, and they're like, "Wow, Ryan seems like a great guy, great resource. I need to reach out to him." How can they do that?
Sure. Well, they can contact me on LinkedIn if they have a LinkedIn page. It's Ryan Lundy. That's Lundy. Or they could contact me at RH for Harris, is my middle name, Lundy, Lundy at gmail.com. So those are places they can contact me, they can email me, or they can call. I can give you my number. That's 610 864-9717. Again, that's 610-864-9717. They can call or they can text me or email or LinkedIn. And I would love to help as many people as I can, share my story, get myself out there. And I love connecting, and thank everybody for listening. And thank you for having me on.
Awesome, Ryan. Thanks for joining us today. You have an amazing story. Well, folks, that's all for today's episode. Until next time, and if you have a story or a testimony that you would like to share that you're doing good in the world, spreading positivity, or if you have a topic that you would like me to cover, you can follow me on social media on all platforms at Drew D's Reports or email me at dsreports@gmail.com. And remember, if you can dream it, you can drew it.